Welcome back, sports fans. In this segment, I'm going to discuss Matt Stafford's career against the Colts as well as Philip Rivers' career against the Lions. Matt Stafford in his career against the Colts, he's played them twice, and he's won each game. He's won and won against them. That's what I meant to say. He beat them in Indianapolis the last time in 2016. However, in 2012, for those of you who might recall, Andrew Luck threw a touchdown pass with no time left to, I don't remember who it was, but the guy caught it at about the 8-yard line and was able to run it in the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. And the Colts ended up winning that game 35-33. And those are the only two games so far that Matt Stafford's played in his career against the Colts. However, in each game, he has thrown for more than 310 yards. And in fact, he's averaging 327 yards with 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. In addition to throwing for over 300 yards in each game, he's also had at least 2 touchdown passes in each one. So on the surface, that bodes well for the Lions tomorrow. Unfortunately, Philip Rivers, while he's 2-2 against the Lions, which would bode well for them, he is averaging 284 yards passing against them with 4 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Now again, much like Matt Ryan, on the surface, this seems like a really good matchup for Matt Stafford. But bear in mind, this is Philip Rivers' first year with the Colts, and the stats he accumulated with them, or not with them, against the Lions were when he was with the Chargers, including last year's game. Now, if you don't include 2007, which is before Matt Stafford got drafted, Philip Rivers is actually averaging about 200 and... actually, he's averaging... about 290 yards per game with 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And I apologize, I did not do the math on that prior to, because I want to include his entire career in that. But still, he's averaging 284 yards. Now, the last 2 games Andrew Luck played against the Lions, he averaged about 385 yards, or I'm sorry, he averaged about 390 yards per game against them. So I would figure that Philip Rivers is definitely good for 1 touchdown pass, and I figure he's going to throw for more than 300 yards against the Lions. I see no reason for why he wouldn't, especially with the Lions ranked 20th in pass defense right now. And what I had said when the Lions' pass defense was in the top 10 is that was fool's gold, and I think even being ranked 20th is probably a little optimistic for the Lions' pass defense right now. So I would figure, and I'd be surprised if Philip Rivers didn't throw for at least 325 yards against the Lions with at least 1 touchdown pass. The good news is Matt Stafford's done well in his career in the 2 games he's played against the Colts, but bear in mind the Colts are 2nd in pass defense right now and 3rd against the run. Do I really believe that Matt Stafford has another 300-yard game in him when he threw his first one just last week, and it was only on the last drive of the game that he went over 300 yards for that game? I just don't see him doing it. And I see him, at least on the surface, getting outplayed by Philip Rivers. So that is a little bit of a concern to me. And when I get to the predictions, I will go into a few more of my concerns that I haven't already mentioned. The other thing to bear in mind is that while in the 2 games Matt Stafford's put up 30-plus points against the Colts, in both of those games, Lions also gave up more than 30 points. And while I don't think the Lions are going to score 30 points tomorrow, I also don't think they're going to give up 30 to the Colts. And something else to bear in mind is the Colts allow fewer than 300 yards per game, and they're only one of 3 teams in the NFL to do it, the other 2 being the Steelers and the Buccaneers, if I recall correctly. So, it's going to be interesting, to say the least. In the next segment, I'm going to talk about the Colts not planning on making any trades before Tuesday at 4 o'clock's cutoff point. Stay tuned to the Detroit Lions tomorrow on Ed's Sports Channel.